Hello, welcome to Check It Out with Rich. It's a little windy here, so hopefully audio is coming over good. I think we're expecting tornado watches.
There are tornado watches
Yeah,
going on.
till 9. Okay, but we was at the Alliance factory about a month ago, and I picked up some of the new slide skis they come out with. I'm kind of intrigued. They're definitely different. I'll show you what the original is. Okay, this is the original. As you can see, it's angled up here at the end. It's very thin. I think the biggest problem with these is this angle. The angle of the slide actually starts about here and then comes up. It's not as sharp as this. And I think that's what the problem is. When you put this on, there's a big gap here because of the difference in the angles. And then I believe what's happening is when it's pushing on I don't know what they call it, but the metal plate at the bottom, I think it's scrunching it up. So when we picked our camper up, we already have one scrunched up, and the dealer put a new one on, and after opening and closing the slide about 4 or 5 times, it scrunched up the other one. That's actually why I have this. Alliance sent me a couple, and then in the meantime, I had a friend of mine works at a machine shop. He made me up these stainless steel ones. Now the only problem with this is the angle, and then had I known better, I would have had to make it wider and then a little taller here. Mitch has some it's not as thick as this, but he is wider and it is taller, but it still has the same angle. And that's the biggest thing I don't like is this angle. I wish they would have made it, had I known better, I'd have had to make that start that angle about back to here and then slope it up. So this is a new one. It's made out of nylon and it has a rubber in here. I don't know if it's vulcanized or what, but there's a piece of rubber strip going in here which makes it pretty flexible, which is nice. And then you also have a piece of, let's see if you can see this all right. Some double-sided tape here, and then it'll go on like this. This is your side, this is on the bottom. There's also a piece of rubber here that is angled up a little bit, and that's going to help seal it. And then on this side, they have it beefed up inside here. It's a little thicker where your screws go through, and then they have spots here pre-drilled and countersunk for your screws. And what you're supposed to do, now this will go on like this. They said you're supposed to bevel this a little bit, and I don't know how well you can see, but you could use a file. I just took it in on my grinder and just ground a little bevel on it. So I'm kind of curious as to how this is going to work, but we're going to find out. So let's get to taking this apart. I'll get my assistant to hold the camera while we do, and let's get this done before it rains or a tornado comes. Okay, as you can see, I have a bunch of 6x6s stacked up here. I got my bottle jack, and then we're going to put a board up on top here to protect the floor. We're not going to do that yet. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take these screws out. Now the slide's out all the way. You can see they're a little bit rusty. So that means a little bit of water was getting in there. So that's the last screw I can get from here. So we're going to have to go inside and bring the slide in and then take the rest of the screws out. Okay, there's one screw left here holding this on. Becky probably can't get it with the camera. Okay, and that's it. Alright, so we want to take this stripping off. Alright, here's one thing I don't like. They use foam tape on here instead of butyl tape. So we'll get this cleaned up. When we put it back together, we'll put some butyl tape on it. Okay, then next, let's get this slide off. And they put, you can see here, they put staples in here to hold this up. I actually have my floor damaged on the inside that they fixed at the rally because of the staples coming out. So however we can get this out, it'll come out.
It broke.
I know. Okay. Yeah, I think that was the staple I had to take out that was hitting the floor. There's something else rubbing here too. Okay, next I want to get all these staples out of here. There. All right, I'm going to go inside and see if there's any staples in there. All right, next thing I want to do, I want to get all this cleaned up so we get a good seal on the caulking when we put it on. All right, that's not bad. I'm going to go inside and get the inside cleaned up, and I'll be back on. All right, I got all the silicone cleaned up. I got all the staples out from the side and from underneath. I cleaned up inside. So next thing we want to do, we want to take this block of wood, put it up on top of the jack, and pump it up. Now, when you do this, you want to make sure your slide's open. You don't want to jack this up with your slide closed because it could roll off your D-bulb, and you don't want that. Okay, we look good. Now, for safety, we want to take this block of wood and stick that up here. That way, if it should fall, you got your fingers in there, it's not going to fall and make you say ow. What was that? Oh. Okay. All right, I don't feel nothing on that plate up there. I don't know what was making those marks in this slide ski. Yeah, I don't feel anything at all up there.
Could it have been that thing inside?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't feel anything. It's all fairly smooth, except for a little bit of silicone. But silicone did that. All right, so next thing we got to do, we got to measure the for the new slide ski. So I'm gonna go inside. I'm gonna pass the dumb end out to Becky, and then she's going to hold it up. She's going to hold it up here as far back as she can, and then we will go ahead and notch it out, and then we'll have to notch out on the inside too. So let me get a tape measure and we'll get that. Okay, you don't run these slide skis out all the way to the end. I'm going to show you here where to measure from what I understand from Alliance. Okay, it's hard to see because of this slide ski being on here, but right where the angle starts to come up at, that's where you stop your measurement at. So you would start here and then go back to the outside of the camper. You're not going to come to here on these ones like this is. Yeah, you see the play that's in this, and that's what I'm meaning about the angle on it. because that angle really starts back in here and then it slopes up. On this slide ski, the angle's starting here and sloping up. So there's a big void in here. All right, let's go get this one cut. Okay, I had a measurement of 29 1/8 inches. Now, if you're changing all 4 of these, I would start on your bigger slides first. That way, in case you mess up on a measurement, you can use that one on the other side. I'm only doing one of these right now, so if I do the other side, I'll do over there and I'll be able to put one over here if I screw up. So let's get the bait cutting done here. Now I'm just going to use a pair of 10 snips. It cuts pretty easy. You could use a razor knife if you had to. A cut-off saw, pair of shears. I don't think scissors will do it though. Now on these ones, you can use a pair of scissors. Alright, so I have my bevel. So we're going to stick this up in there. And then I'm going to have to cut back. She just hit me in the head with the camera. Alright, now I'm going to have to cut back for this piece here, which goes back inch and a quarter. So let's mark it a little short. So inch and a quarter. I should have a marker or something, but I'm too lazy to go get it. You know what? Let me get a marker.
Alex.
Still recording. And a marker.
I got Lexi.
Alright, let's take that back inch and a quarter, which is there. Try to make your cut as straight as possible. You can use a speed square on it if you had to. Doesn't really have to be perfect. We're going to silicone everything up. So let's get this back in here. Come on. There we go. Okay, that looks good. We can actually take more off. Let me go inside and see what the inside looks like. I like the way it fits. Alright, I'm going to take off a little bit more. We're going to have to trim the inside also. Alright, let me go check the inside again.
Hi, Sky. Hi, Sky.
A little bit more here. Okay, that's good.
Break it.
Try to get it in. That's good because we're cutting it off anyway. Let's try that. That's good. That's up against there. Let me go and check it inside.
Respect. They lost their nesting box because Slate is broody. So here's where Speck's making a nest. Relax.
Okay, we got it all cut. Everything looks good. All right, now I had to cut on the inside for the board, the vertical board on the face of the slide. But I looked, the bevel here is pretty good with the angle on the bottom. So now the fun part. We have to try to get this back in. All right, we have to try to get this back in with this all over it. So it's not going to be easy. All right, I'm going to use this up.
You're not going to use the double-sided tape?
Yep. Yeah, I just don't think that double-sided tape is enough. Okay, that's good. Let me get this other tube out. Okay, put a nice bead here. So after this, I don't really think that this double-sided tape is going to do any good. But we're going to strip her back and use her up. Okay. All right. This is going to be messy. Okay, so we're all good here. That's holding pretty good. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pre-drill some holes here. And this is holding pretty good. It's not dropping down or anything. So between that double-sided tape and the Proflex, and it's starting to rain, so I may put some painter's tape over this till tomorrow and get it caulked up. That was a nice grab there.
You're too high.
Okay, that's not too bad. Let's flare it out here a little bit. A second. Alright, I should have did this before I put it on, but we'll be alright. You just want to get one screw back here. Easy. Come on. Alright, and that'll hold that back side from coming down. Alright, I'm going to go inside and get one screw on the inside in the front. Then we'll get this cleaned up. Alright, it started to rain. I got the inside screwed down. The flies are biting. But I put some painter's tape over here. I put enough caulk in here. I don't think if water should get in there, it's going to really matter. But I did put some painter's tape. That'll hold till tomorrow. I'll take this off and put some silicone on it. But right now, we're going to go inside and show you something else that needs done. Okay, the other thing that needs done is, I forget what these are called, but they're supposed to be, you don't want that new slide ski running up on this. So it's supposed to be so far over. I can't remember how much. Monday I'm going to send Alliance an email and find out how far over it's supposed to be. I think they said 6 inches, but then again, I'm thinking it was 4 inches. But right now, we're off of that, probably about 2 inches. So I'm not going to move this just yet. I'll wait until I hear from them. We're not leaving until next Friday, so if I email them Monday, they'll let me know how far off that has to be. But that's the difference between the two slides. These are actually, from what I understand, these are actually supposed to be out for the slide ski to ride on. None of mine are. They're all off towards the inside. So I don't know if I'm misunderstanding or what, but so we'll find out this week where that's supposed to be. And I think when I take it off, I think I'm going to bevel both sides, because I notice, like here, you can see a little line. It's hard to see, but you can see a little line where it's wearing on that plate. So I'm just going to round them off a little bit so it's not so sharp. And that's about it. Like I said, I got all this secured. The only thing really left to do is to silicone the outside edge on the top, on the side, and I'm going to silicone underneath in the back a little bit so no water gets up in there. But we're going to check it out, see how it works. Apparently they're supposed to be better, but we'll find out. Right now, the slide's all the way out and it's setting down, so now it's smashing up on that slide ski, so that double-sided tape and the Proflex should hold that all together. So All right, I hope this video helps somebody out. I know slide skis seems like it's a really big job. It's really not. As long as you got the few tools. Those new slide skis, they're pretty easy to cut. If you're doing it on a road, you should have everything in your toolbox, I hope, to be able to do this on the road. So, all right, so once again, thanks for checking it out. We'll see you all next time. Bye. We have to try to get this back in with...
You have to put that in the bloopers.
No. Okay, we have to try to get this back in. This back... Alright, we have to try to get this back in with this all over it. So it's not going to be easy.